Hi, I'm Samantha Campbell.
And I'm Mary Kate Evans.
And we did our IME 430 final project on Cal Poly Learn by Not Going to Class. We saw that there was an issue with Cal Poly students not attending their classes.
This was affecting professors' ability to get to know their students, evaluate them, and really teach them to their full potential.
It was also affecting students being able to understand what was going on in classes, as well as understand how the professor was going to ask questions on the midterms, finals, tests, and quizzes, as well as truly what was going on in the class.
In order to further investigate the causes of the problem, we organized our ideas into a cause and effect diagram under the 6 M's. Under method, we put overslept, can get the notes elsewhere so you don't need to go to class, and don't want to miss something on TV. Under materials, we put that you didn't complete the homework, drugs, or alcohol. And under measurement, we put errors in roll taking.
Under Mother Nature, we put a traffic jam, wanted to enjoy good weather instead of going to class. Bad weather, you didn't want to get to class. And no parking, because that's a side effect of bad weather in which nobody wants to bike or walk to campus. Everyone drives and takes up all the parking. For manpower, we focus on how they were feeling, if they were sick, if they were just too tired to be in class, if there was no motivation and they just didn't feel like going to class, if they were too busy with their other classes. And for machine, if the car, bus, or bike was malfunctioning, or if their alarm didn't go off to wake them up in the morning. So we took those ideas and created a survey that we sent out on Facebook. Our survey options were: you missed class because you overslept, you didn't go to class because you could get your information elsewhere, you didn't want to miss the show, the big game, or basically any event, you had car trouble and you couldn't make it, every other parking space was full and you had to park way too far away from your class, you didn't feel like going, you were sick, you were busy with other classwork, or you were just hanging out with friends.
So, like she said, we put this on Facebook and we got responses from 100 random Cal Poly students. And this is the data that we came up with. And here it has the reasons for missing class and the frequency of each cause. We then put this data into Excel and did a Pareto analysis. And this helped us prioritize the causes. And we were able to find that 78% of the times that students were missing class, it was due to these top 3 causes, which were busy with other classes, they were sick, or they just didn't feel like going. So then from this, we were able to focus our solution and really just looked at these 2 first main causes, which were being sick and being busy with other classes.
To look at the further testing, we decided to make 2 surveys on SurveyMonkey. Our first one was to find the correlation of getting sick to a student's absences. It asked the student how many times they had been sick that past quarter, and it then asked them how many classes they had missed because they were sick. We then took that to find the total number of classes that a student missed, along with how many times they were sick to get that correlation. We put this one out on Facebook as well. We made sure it was only Cal Poly students. We put it in private Cal Poly Facebook pages. Our second one was to find out how a student's total number of units affected their attendance. We asked each student how many units they took. We mainly stuck with 12, 16, 20, and 24, but we put in some ranges because a lot of majors have 3 to 2 unit classes. And then we also asked them how many classes they missed to focus on other classes.
We then were able to set up our hypothesis test. For illness, we made the claim that there is a relationship between being sick and the amount of classes missed. And for units, we made the claim that the mean value for taking 12 to 15 units, 16 to 19 units, and 20 plus units were not all the same. So this is at least one is different. there were more categories in our original survey, and we put them into these 3 main categories in order to move forward. We also did all of our testing at alpha equals 0.05. So then we found the results. First, we did a regression test between illness and the amount of class missed, because those were both continuous data when we were collecting. And from this, we were able to get a p-value of 0.03427, which was less than alpha, so we rejected H0. And we were able to make the conclusion that at 5% confidence, there is enough evidence to support the claim that there is a relationship between the amount of times a student was sick and missing class. We then did an ANOVA test on the amount of units taken and the class missed to find out if there was a relationship between being too busy with other classes and having to miss class as a result. We did an ANOVA because we did a categorical and a continuous data. The categorical was the units, and there was only 12 to 14, 12 to 15, 15 to 16, and so on. And so this is the conclusion, and we were able to find a p-value of 0.083174, which was greater than alpha, so we failed to reject H0, but at 10% confidence, we were able to reject H0, and this allows us to make the conclusion that at 10% significance, there is a relationship between the amount of units a student takes and missing class.
So after we looked at our analysis and saw the p-values and compared them to alpha, we found that both topics need to be addressed to help Cal Poly get more attendance in their classrooms. For illness, our recommendation was to improve the health center, allow students to get better access and get in quicker, and also improve sanitation around the campus, possibly by just putting more hand sanitizing pumps around. And for our units, we came up with the idea of a freshman program. The program would require that freshmen take the minimum of 12 units, and then they would be given a certain amount of classes that they could miss, or a certain amount of classes that they could miss, and once they reached that amount of classes, they would not be allowed to amp up their units as they went on at Cal Poly. This would make sure that each student was able to attend class with the workload that he or she was given, as well as keep them liable for missing class.
And that's all we have. Thank you.